On Thursday Night Football, the Seahawks beat the Packers 27-24. The Packers lost. They're now 4-5-1, and I'm sorry to say their season is over. What does this mean? This means that the Packers head coach, Mike McCarthy, is going to lose his job at the end of the year. That's my prediction. Mike McCarthy will be fired. I mean, there's been growing tension all year between the Packers quarterback and their head coach. Seems like one of them has to go. And, I mean, don't forget, in August, Aaron Rodgers signed a $134 million extension. He's not going anywhere. So Mike McCarthy's going to have to go at the end of the year. Here's what we learned at the end of the Packers' loss against the Seahawks. You can't expect Aaron Rodgers to be Superman. It's not fair. And it's not just Aaron Rodgers. Quarterbacks in general. I know that quarterbacks are the most important position in the entire NFL. We've all decided that it's true. But it takes more than just a quarterback to win in the NFL. I mean, Dan Marino was way more talented than Joe Montana, but Joe Montana has 4 Super Bowl rings. Joe Montana won nothing. Nothing. He might be the greatest underachieving quarterback in NFL history. Joe Montana was way less talented than Dan Marino, but Dan Marino did not have the same help that Joe Montana had. I mean, great chefs, guys like Gordon Ramsay, Anthony Bourdain, my 2 favorite chefs of all time. May Anthony Bourdain forever rest in peace. I love Gordon Ramsay. Even a great chef needs great ingredients. You give Gordon Ramsay wilted lettuce, soggy, wilted, awful, rotten tomatoes, bad olive oil. You give him all those ingredients, he can't make great food. Even a great chef needs great ingredients to make a good dish. Even a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers needs help if he wants to win. Now, my initial reaction to the Seahawks-Packers game was to go, oh, no. You know, Aaron Rodgers just simply isn't holding up his end of the bargain. That's what I thought immediately, but that is wrong. Here's why I thought that. Here's why that's wrong. Yes, the Packers roster is mediocre. And we had a belief at the beginning of the season that Aaron Rodgers would be able to elevate an average Packers roster. But what we should have seen was against the Bears when it took a miracle for the Packers to win. It took Aaron Rodgers taking an incredible couple of plays at the end of the fourth quarter to beat the Bears. That should have been the canary in the coal mine, the warning at the beginning of the year. Oh, no. This isn't sustainable. That crazy comeback was fun, but that's not sustainable week to week. I do want to talk about the Packers' final drive. The Packers' final drive of Thursday Night Football was a very weird one. I believe it's indicative of the Packers' biggest problems. And I think, honestly, one of the problems with the Packers is actually their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. In some ways, that's their biggest issue. It's not entirely Aaron Rodgers, and it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault necessarily. But it's the attitude everyone in Green Bay has towards Aaron Rodgers. I believe it was, I think it was Colin Cowherd a couple years ago. He threw out that Aaron Rodgers was deodorant. That's what he said. Aaron Rodgers was deodorant covering the Packers' stink. And at some point, deodorant doesn't work anymore. You got to take a shower. Day 2, day 3, it's like, dude, you smell bad. No amount of deodorant's going to solve that. You got to just take a shower. It's time for the Packers to do that. The deodorant's not masking the smell anymore. And the Packers' reliance on Aaron Rodgers is finally catching up to them. They've used him as a crutch for years, and it's simply, sorry, doesn't work anymore. Now, I do think that Aaron Rodgers likes being the crutch. He likes being the hero at the end of the game. Aaron Rodgers won the game, and the headline and the interview, all that stuff. Aaron Rodgers, I think, likes the spotlight. He enjoys that. But here's why the Packers' final drive was weird, and it's indicative of this problem. The Packers got the ball with 5 minutes left and 1 timeout. And I was so excited. I put on my Instagram story, yes, this is what I want to watch. And sadly, it was really anticlimactic. The Packers went 3 and out, and it didn't really matter. Here's what happened, though. On the first play, Aaron Rodgers had a lot of time to throw, and instead of taking a chance downfield, that one-on-one coverage, it was actually a solid look. He threw the ball away, didn't take a chance. On second down, he had a solid completion underneath. They gained 8 yards, and on 3rd and 2, Aaron Rodgers threw the ball in the dirt. Had a guy open, skipped the ball into the ground. But why did that happen? Why did Aaron Rodgers throw the ball away on first down? Why did he throw the ball into the dirt on third down? Why did it seem like Aaron Rodgers had no urgency? Well, on 4th and 2, the Packers decided to punt the ball. They're on their own 33-yard line. I guess it makes sense, but with 5 minutes left, you got to get a score. You got to go ahead and win the game. And my suspicion is that Aaron Rodgers believed they were going to go for it on 4th down. It never even occurred to Aaron Rodgers they were going to punt on 4th and 2 from their own 33-yard line with 4 minutes left. You go for it in that situation. I think that's what Aaron Rodgers really believed. This is why the culture around Aaron Rodgers, the culture in the Packers locker room is hurting them. There's that culture that Aaron Rodgers is the hero. He's the savior. And the problem is that subconsciously, when you have a hero, you put all your faith in them. You wait for Aaron Rodgers to make a play rather than making a play yourself. And it goes both ways. I mean, the team relies on Aaron to be the hero, and Aaron's bought into it. He believes he is the hero for the Green Bay Packers. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers really even sees himself as part of the team. He sees himself as the savior, the hero for the Green Bay Packers. Of course, it doesn't matter if I throw the ball away on first down. Of course, it's okay if I skip the ball into the ground on 3rd and 2. We're going to go for it. I'm the hero. We're going to make it happen. I'll get another chance. He's thrown so many Hail Marys. He's made it work so many times at the end of games. Aaron Rodgers' perspective is simply warped. I don't like that, but it's true. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like Aaron Rodgers does not have a perspective of reality. He sees himself as the hero. He thinks he can always make it work. He always is pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Here's what Aaron Rodgers really is. He's kind of like me. I'm late all the time. I'm that guy that's 5 miles away on a hike. The sun is going down. I'm like, oh, I'll make it. It'll be fine. And the truth is, I'm 5 miles from my car. It's dark. I'm walking with my phone, trying to shine it as a flashlight. That's what happened to Aaron Rodgers. He thought he was going to get another chance. He thought he could be the hero. He always thought he had more time. Aaron Rodgers lacks urgency because his perspective is warped. That hero culture in the Packers has not only hurt the Packers locker room, they rely on Aaron Rodgers completely, but he relies on himself far too much. It shows in the way he plays. He runs around. He makes great plays sometimes. Sometimes he throws the ball into bad situations that guys can't make the catch. He doesn't throw interceptions, but he throws really hard to catch, one-on-one balls, back shoulder, yada, yada. He has too much faith in himself. He lacks the urgency he needs. I don't know. What happened was the Seahawks got the ball and never gave it back. Packers punted on 4th and 2. And here's what happened. I'm sure that Rodgers was upset the Packers punted on 4th and 2. What that did is it took away an opportunity for Aaron Rodgers to become the hero. And what it did is greatened the divide between the coaching staff and Aaron Rodgers. The Packers rely far too heavily on Aaron Rodgers. And I believe Mike McCarthy, their head coach, is going to be fired. That growing tension between them is too much. And I know that in some ways, I do think that Mike McCarthy moving on is a good thing for the Packers. The Packers need to make some kind of offensive innovation happen. They're getting upstaged by guys like Matt Nagy with the Bears or Sean McVay of the Rams. But a question a lot of people keep asking me is, are the Packers supporting Aaron Rodgers enough? Here's how I want to answer that. Some of the Packers' issues, some of the Packers' offensive issues are due to a lack of experience at the wide receiver position. I want to highlight one play in particular. There's one play last night that I went, ooh, that's a problem. It was Equanimous, with an M, Equanimous St. Brown, a Packers rookie wide receiver, was running a dig route, which means he's running across the field to the left. And the Seahawks were in a zone defense, so there's a window between two linebackers. Window here, two linebackers on the right and left. And Rodgers threw the ball into the window between the two linebackers. It's a big window, like maybe 6-7 yards. But Equanimous St. Brown didn't slow down in the window. He kept running all the way through the window into the next linebacker. The pass fell incomplete, and I understood Aaron Rodgers' frustration in that moment. Because what Equanimous St. Brown should have done was throttle down, slow down in the window. He would have caught that ball if he'd done that. But Equanimous St. Brown doesn't have the veteran savvy. He doesn't understand football well enough yet to know to do that. He said, the play told me to run a dig. I'm sure that's what happened in the conversation on the sideline. I was supposed to run to this spot. He doesn't have that understanding yet to know, oh, I slow down at that moment. I find the window between the defenders. I don't run into another defender. I find the window. Some of that's because of youth. Some of that's because, he's a rookie receiver that doesn't really fully understand yet. But part of that does go to the Packers coaching staff. They didn't prepare their receiver for that moment. I hate to say this, but a Patriots wide receiver, a Bill Belichick coached wide receiver would have caught that pass. So I really understand Aaron Rodgers' annoyance. I've struggled with this before. I play pickup basketball at my rec league. Can't really shoot. I can. The one thing I can do in basketball, I'm a bad dribbler. I can't really shoot, but I can pass like no other. That's my skill. My brain just sees the windows to get a bunch of assists. Do you want to score? Play with me. I'll give you opportunities to score the basketball. And there was a pass, I think it was on Tuesday night. I was at the rec center. I think it was right after I recorded my last episode of Strong Opinion Sports. The defender's back was turned to me. And so I threw a pass down the basket right behind him. A perfect pass, hit my guy in the hands, and he dropped it. It would have been an easy layup. All he had to do was catch it, lay it up. He dropped it. He said he didn't expect the pass. And in that moment, I felt the same frustration that Aaron Rodgers felt. It was annoying. It's like, dude, catch up. Let's go. I'm certain Aaron Rodgers feels that way all the time with the Packers wide receivers. Let's go, catch up, learn, get on the same page. I'm sure he's constantly frustrated with guys not throttling in the right window, not expecting the ball, running the wrong route, not reading the concept right. It looks like that kind of stuff happens all the time with the Packers wide receivers, and I'm sure he's frustrated. I'm sure it's even worse because they got rid of Jordy Nelson, a guy who would have never made those mistakes. Aaron Rodgers' favorite target, he was getting old, a little bit expensive for his age. The Packers said, we're not going to bring him back. He went to the Raiders. Oh, I'm certain every time Equanimeous St. Brown screws up, he thinks in the back of his head, if I just had Jordy Nelson, it'd be okay. The bottom line is this. The Packers culture relies far too heavily on Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is really frustrated. He's becoming increasingly frustrated. You can see it on his face every single time. He's growing frustrated with the decision-making in Green Bay. I mean, they got rid of his quarterback coach last offseason. They got rid of his favorite wide receiver, Jordy Nelson. And now the Packers are 4-5-1. And Mike McCarthy's going to get fired at the end of the year. But the Packers' culture needs to change, not just the head coach. The culture in Green Bay needs to change, top to bottom, from general manager to receiver to lineman, everybody. They need to put a little less faith in Aaron Rodgers, and not in a bad way. You can believe in Aaron Rodgers all the way. Here's what I mean. A quarterback is part of the situation, but Aaron Rodgers should not be Superman. Aaron Rodgers should not be a crutch. And right now, the Green Bay Packers rely far too heavily on Aaron Rodgers. He's like 3/4 of the pie. He needs to be a fourth. He needs to be a slice of the pie. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is almost everything. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't make every single play like he did against the Bears, pull a bunny out of his hat and make a magic trick happen, then the Packers can't win. Right now, again, I repeat, the Packers rely far too heavily on Aaron Rodgers. They need to change the culture in Green Bay and get Aaron Rodgers some help. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. If you're new to Strong Opinion Sports, you can subscribe on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and also clearly on YouTube. It means a lot to me. And please help me grow by telling your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. You might hate me. That's fine. Please leave a comment down below. Why do you hate what I talked about? Why do you hate me? I don't mind that. I understand that my opinions are pretty controversial, and I just am grateful that you guys watch. So thank you so much. My name is Zach Schaumler. Have a great day.